Emergency alert system activation at 14:37 hours Greenwich Mean Time. This is not a test. All civilian personnel are advised to remain indoors with windows secured and optical instruments disabled. The entity designated subject 67 has breached containment protocols established during the initial viral phenomenon documentation phase. Initial sighting reports described a juvenile humanoid figure suspended approximately 50,000 feet above sea level. Standard atmospheric pressure readings at this altitude should preclude human survival, yet subject 67 demonstrates continuous expansion without apparent respiratory distress. Facial recognition algorithms confirm identity match with the individual previously cataloged in social media phenomenon archives, though current proportional measurements indicate impossible biological scaling. Observational data indicates the entity's oral cavity has expanded beyond anatomically feasible parameters. Satellite thermal imaging detects gravitational anomalies concentrated around this region, suggesting localized space-time distortion. The mastication pattern observed maintains consistent rhythmic intervals of approximately 3.7 seconds, synchronized with electromagnetic pulse emissions detectable across multiple frequency spectrums. Ground-based telescopic observations from 17 international monitoring stations confirm identical visual perspective regardless of geographic positioning. This uniform appearance violates established laws of parallax observation and suggests the entity exists simultaneously across multiple dimensional coordinates. Communication attempts through standard radio frequencies have produced only echoing repetitions of the phrase 67 transmitted at increasing decibel levels. Atmospheric composition analysis indicates accelerating depletion of oxygen concentrations in an expanding radius beneath the entity. Preliminary calculations suggest complete atmospheric consumption within approximately 72 hours if current consumption rates maintain exponential progression. Weather monitoring systems detect unprecedented wind pattern disruptions as atmospheric matter appears to flow directly towards subject 67's position. Marine observation posts report visible light distortion, where ocean surfaces reflect the entity's image. Water samples collected from these areas demonstrate molecular restructuring inconsistent with known chemical processes. The substance maintains visual properties of water while exhibiting density measurements suggesting partial matter conversion to unknown elemental composition. International Space Station crew confirms visual contact with subject 67 despite orbital positioning that should place the entity below visual range. Crew reports simultaneous observation from multiple viewing ports, each displaying identical facial orientation and expression. Mission Control advises complete communications blackout with ISS crew as of 16:41 hours following transmission of increasingly incoherent observational data. Seismographic monitoring stations detect rhythmic vibrations consistent with mastication frequency observed in subject 67. Epicenter calculations indicate the vibrations originate from Earth's core rather than surface activity. Geological survey teams report mineral extraction sites showing evidence of systematic consumption patterns extending deep into bedrock layers. Core sample analysis reveals perfectly cylindrical void spaces arranged in patterns matching human dental impressions, scaled to impossible proportions. Emergency services receive increasing reports of missing persons in areas where individuals claim to have made direct eye contact with subject 67. Missing persons demonstrate common behavioral patterns prior to disappearance, including repetitive vocalizations of numerical sequences and compulsive upward gaze orientation. Security footage from affected areas shows individuals walking directly vertical up building surfaces before disappearing beyond camera range. Communication networks experience systematic degradation as transmission towers in affected regions cease responding to standard protocols. Final transmissions from these facilities contain only audio recordings of continuous mastication, sounds increasing in amplitude until signal termination. Backup communication systems automatically activate, though their operational duration remains uncertain given observed consumption patterns. This constitutes final transmission from Ground Control Station Alpha. Entity has achieved sufficient mass to generate visible orbital effects. Recommend immediate implementation of Protocol Omega-7 for all remaining operational facilities. May whatever remains remember what once was. 67.